Good morning, and we're back again with my show, which I really like the most because I'm always on the end where I ask all these questions to all these great people that I interview all the time. Today, I've got a very, very special guest, special in many ways. Special why? Because she is the teacher of my special child. Hopefully, my children are not listening back to this interview later on. And also, she is very, very new to our school, only started this year, and she's a form teacher of Year 2B. And so without further ado, I actually want to introduce Miss Martinson, and I'll pass it on to you. So tell us about yourself, and tell us a bit about yourself, and then also tell us about your photo, which is on display.
Okay. So basically, I'll give you a quick run through. My family, so my dad is actually from Canada, born in Canada. So my sister and I were born there, and we actually lived there for, I think, till I was about 3. And then we moved back to Australia. And so this photo is actually of my brother. So my brother's a little baby. And he was born here in Sydney. So there's a little bit of an age gap. And I just picked this photo because I just remember being so excited that I finally had a little sibling that I could hold, because me and my sister were very close in age. And so it was really nice to kind of feel like the older sibling, and it was very exciting. And he was a boy as well. We hadn't had a boy in our family yet. So yeah, so it was I had a really, really, really great childhood. Yeah, I guess that's just my little brief run through. I also, I have a daughter. She's 1.5 almost. And her name's Callie. And she's just the sweetest thing. I just love her so much. Yeah, I guess that's my brief little run through.
Look, it's so amazing, especially to have daughters, as you said, because I was raised in a household of only boys, and my first 2 children are also boys. So to have Zainab, who actually you teach, was my first daughter. And so that's why it was such a, it was a moment to cherish. And it's since that day, I don't know, I shouldn't be saying this, but I actually do feel that she is the princess of the house. Although I do have another daughter as well. She's a bit of a rebel, and she will be starting school next year, coming to the same school. But Zainab's that quiet child that I always look upon, and I do feel proud of being father of Zainab. So look, you're doing a great job. I must tell you on the camera, you are the teacher that she really looks forward to come and talk to and spend most of her daily, routine in the school. And she's always speaking about you. Just today, she was asking, is my teacher going to be in? Because I didn't like school yesterday. So
yeah, my daughter was sick yesterday, so yeah.
As I told you, family's always first, and may your daughter gets better, and we make a special prayer for her. And tell us a bit more about yourself. I mean, the other thing that you mentioned was Canada. Thank goodness you don't have that American accent, because that's something I really despise.
Yes, lots of people do, strangely. So thankfully the Canadian accent's a little slightly different. It's not as, I guess, in your face as the American accent. But I'm so proud to be from there. I feel bad I haven't been there in so long, just with COVID and everything. But yeah, so my dad's whole family lives there. So I've got cousins, aunties, uncles. So it's really great when we do go over there. We get to spend lots of time with them, and then they come over here and stay with us as well. So yeah, I guess more about myself. Oh gosh, I don't know where to start. So I went to school. So once we moved to Australia, we actually moved to Melbourne for about a year. My dad had a job in Melbourne. And so then we moved back to Sydney, and I started primary school here, and I've had all my schooling here. Uni was here. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Very normal life.
Well, moving on, I mean, let's just move into the next question, which is actually, what do you always wanted to learn? I know as teachers we're always learning, There's always, a phase in our life that we are always trying to better ourselves, but there's always something that we want to do for our personal life as well.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, I guess for me, I'm always trying to, I guess, better myself and look at others, listen to others. Especially now having a child, it's really changed my perception of life, I guess. I guess I used to think, which is probably naive, I used to think, oh, I've got everything sorted. I really know what's going on. And then, yeah, you have a child and it all completely changes. You think you know what's going on and you have a plan in place, and then it just always, it always changes. So I guess just being open to change, I've learned, or am learning, and just learning how to deal with it and cope with it, and that it's okay. Like, nothing's really that bad. It is okay, and you're going to get through things. You're going to find a better way to do something. And so I guess at the moment, that's what I'm kind of going through, I guess, learning, talking to other people that have been in situations like mine, and also like talking to people that have like a completely different to me and that have very different life experiences. I find that actually has been super helpful for me growing so far. Yeah.
That's amazing, fantastic. Tell us anything else. I mean, on a personal growth, the change is such an amazing thing, as you said. We need to be learning that, but at the same time, there's always some personal goals that we have in our life that we're looking at. I wish I did that when I was young, but there's always that chance that we can learn things even as we are growing up. So there's any of that hobbies or any of those things that you looked at that you always wanted to do, and you think you never had a chance for that?
Oh gosh, I think there's lots of things. I think a little bit in a way, not in a sad way, but I feel like since becoming a parent, I feel like I've kind of put those hobbies and things I've wanted to do kind of on the back burner, and I'm at this point now where I'm thinking about trying to think of things that I can do for myself, because for the last year and a half it's really been about her and sorting all of that out, parenting. And so yeah, there's lots of things, just even simple things like exercising more. I just want to, because I had such a really good routine before, and so even simple things like that, even seeing friends more, I feel like that's kind of slid a little as well, because things just get so busy. So just being, I guess, more social, doing more things, just generally meeting new people, going places. Yeah, even art. I really quite like art, so maybe getting back into doing something like that. Yeah, just more hobbies, I guess, that I've kind of let slide. Yeah.
No, it's so true. Like what you just mentioned, that being a parent myself, we put our ambitions on the back burner, and we become so giving, and that's what parenthood is. And that's when we realize that how we should have been more respectful, been more giving to our own parents, and these are the sacrifices that they should have, or they definitely would have gone through in order to raise us up as well.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It's very, it's hard, because I want my daughter also to see, I know I am a motivated person, but I want her to see, oh, my mum does this, she does this, and so I want to, yeah, that's a goal for myself, to have more things going on, I guess, than just her.
No, that's right. We have to. End of the day, if we are healthy, then our children are healthy as well. So that's why we also have to engage in that healthy lifestyle as well. And we have to also think about ourselves as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, moving on to our next question, which is something that you know really well. I know as human beings, we always become humble, and we say we're not very good at everything or anything, but there's always something that people come to us. So we do feel like if I was to actually, bet on something, and that's something I would bet on. So what would you think? What would you say? What's something that you really know well?
Oh gosh, that's a hard question. I guess it's simply, I guess I'm there for people, so I'm reliable. So if someone needs me for something, or someone, wants my help with something, I hope they know that I'm always there. Like, I will always help people. Oh gosh, this is such a hard question. I don't know how to answer this. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I think, yeah, I am reliable. I'm there for people. I'd like to think I give good advice in certain social situations of how to handle things, even just simply in my class, if someone's having a little disagreement, or I feel like I'm pretty good at trying to see both sides. I've always, I mean, this could be a flaw of mine as well, but I always like to see all angles of a, so if someone has a question and says, oh, what should I do? I'll go, oh, have you looked at it from this way? Have you looked at it from that way? Which can be a flaw sometimes, because then it's seen as indecisive. um, but I've always kind of had that balance, or tried to have that balance of seeing the good in people and seeing things from all angles. Which I have been told in the past that people say, oh, you're really seeing good in that person, when there's not, other people might not see a whole lot of good. So I'd like to think that's also something I'm proud of, that I do.
Oh, then definitely, you should be proud of such a trait, just looking at things in a very different way, because people can be very monotonous, where they only look at things in a particular way. Okay, that's how it is. But what you've just said, it's so profound and so knowledgeable as well. I'm actually moved. Like I normally, the stereotypes I had for K-2 teachers, that's definitely changed after speaking to you. So my stereotypes of, well, I'm definitely not going to say them, but I would say, look, there are them, and I always said this to people as well that know me, that K-2 teachers have a lot of patience, because the amount of dramas, as we can say, that you guys deal with on a daily basis, with little social issues that these children may have, and then they would think that the entire world's come down on them if those things don't work out the way they think. I do think you guys are commendable. You do such a great job.
Oh, thank you. And that is so true. One little issue is like the whole world has ended, and that happens maybe 20 times a day. So you're always trying to solve these little problems and calm them down and make them see that it's really not that big of a deal and that it's okay. So that in itself is nice, when you see the relief on their face when you've said, okay, this is actually all right. And then they go, oh, okay, it is all right. And then they move on. Like, they move on so quickly though. Like, their world's crashed. A few seconds later, they're like, oh, I'm okay now. So I see what you're saying.
Well, no, tell us something, in terms of any other thing that you would like to add to it, like that really well, apart from, as such a social, psychological quality that you've described about yourself. But is there something physical, anything like that you do well? I'm sure you do so many things well, but you're just trying to be humble. Maybe you would like to add another thing that you do really well.
Gosh, I think it is really hard. Like, I am a person that that doesn't like think about things I do well. Like, so it's actually really hard for me to answer, because I think most of us do it. We always see that, these good things that other people do, but it's really hard to like actually look into yourself and go, what do I really bring to the table? But gosh, it is hard. It is hard. I guess patience. I feel like I am quite a patient person. But also in sometimes I think I'm too patient or too nice, as people might say. And so, as for me, trying to work on that and still being nice and everything, but also kind of having that line of like assertiveness, which I'm definitely working on. But in terms of things I do well, oh gosh,
could be a game or a sport that you play, or could be anything that you've done.
Okay. Well, I've always been quite sporty. I grew up, my whole childhood was sport. We did sport all the time. Mainly it was softball. I played it since I was 5 till I was 20. And it was like, our whole life really was that. So it was quite good at that. And I still hopefully am, but haven't played in a long time. So I've always been a very active person. Like, my mum and I actually, when I turned, I think I was 19, I actually did a marathon with my mum. So she was turning 50 and she wanted to do something for, a big thing to turn 50. And And about a year before that, she said, "Oh, Lauren, do you want to train with me and we'll do it together?" And I went, "Okay, all right, I'll do it." And we trained really hard and we ended up doing it. And it was actually so amazing. I've never been fitter in my life, but it was very hard. It was very hard, but it was really worth it. Yeah, so it's almost been, I think this year will be 10 years since we did that. So
how long was that? The marathon, how long did you run for?
So it was it 42 kilometers? Yeah.
42 kilometers.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it was the one in the city. I think it's called the Blackmores Marathon or Sydney. It's on every year in the city. So you basically start at the Harbour Bridge and you run all through the city, do these loops through, I think it's Hyde Park, and then you end at the Opera House.
Did you manage to finish that?
Yeah, we finished. We
Oh,
both
that's
together.
amazing. Look, hats off to you. If I started at the Harbour Bridge, I'll probably finish at the end of the Harbour Bridge as well.
And the Harbour Bridge is actually much further than it appears. Like when you run it, you think, oh, it's just like not that far, and it goes forever. So that was probably the hardest thing I've done, one of the hardest. And yeah, it was. But I'm so proud still that I've done that and that we did it together. You know, we ran the whole way together, and it really pushed me because I was only 19, so mentally I wasn't very strong. You know, you get a bit tired and go, oh yeah, I think I want to stop now. But just pushing through and breaking through that tired, you know, the voices in your head saying, oh, you could just stop, and pushing that to the side and just finishing it was amazing.
But you know what? That really shows your values. I mean, you did it for your mom, and because it was a milestone for your mom, and you actually just went through it. And this is where the values do come. And definitely, hats off to your parents who actually gave you those values, and you bring those values. And that's who we are as individuals. And that's something that you know well. It's your values. That's another thing that we just discovered. It's the values that you bring, that how your parents actually raised you. And then, you know, sometimes we complain, but because of our values, we see our parents do so much for us, and we just stop there and we say, you know what, why should I complain when they just want that for themselves? And when I wanted something for myself, they gave it to me, but now it's their turn, so I can always give back to them. So look, I really hats off again. Look, it's such great values that you bring to the classroom from your life, and also that you shared with us today. Well, that brings me to my final question, and an important one. Tell us a surprising fact about you that people really get surprised when they hear something about you.
Oh gosh, maybe I should have used that one as this question. What's something people don't know? I guess, well, for the last year, it's been that I had a child. Lots of people didn't know I had a child. That don't know about me. Oh gosh, okay. Something that people don't know about me. Okay, well, I was going to say that I'm from Canada, but I've already said that. I've been fortunate enough to travel a lot. I don't know if I want to use that one because it's kind of lots of people travel. Oh gosh, I don't know.
I think you've given us so many surprising facts that you're Canadian,
The main one.
and you've got a child as well. You ran a marathon of 42 kilometers, which I've actually spent half my life, but I haven't done that sort of a run. So yeah, there's so many surprising facts there, but I'm sure we've got so many other surprises. And you know what? These are so important that people, the school's growing, and there's so many teachers that we don't even see. We actually see them, or we never get a chance to speak to them. And so when they hear about these things, and they're like, you know what, we're all the same. We share so many same values. So yeah, I'm sure there are many. So tell us. I mean, I'm sure you're going to be surprising me again by saying something.
Gosh, yeah, okay. I mean, I love animals. I really love animals. We have lots of pets. We've always had pets growing up. At one time, we had 4 dogs. That was a lot. So I really love animals. I love, oh gosh, I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to think of something. Yes, sport. We've been super sporty. I'd say the marathon's probably my biggest, achievement in that way, because I'm just really not a competitive okay, I'm not competitive. That is my maybe one thing to know. I am like the least competitive person on the planet, but I'm very competitive with myself. Like, so I don't care if I'm in a race, like, and I come last, I couldn't care less. But if I think I've done badly, then it affects me. But if I think I've done like amazing, then I'm okay. So like me and my sister is the most competitive person. Actually, my fiance is also extremely competitive. So I feel like they love playing games with me because they don't like, they'll cheat or not cheat, but they are so competitive. And so they just beat me and I just don't care. So I feel like that's also something that is in a way a good thing, because it's, they can have fun and win because that's what they want to do. And I can have fun because I've played, but I just, as long as I played better, that's fine by me. Like I don't mind. So yeah, maybe
Well, that's so good. It's lovely talking to you today. Yeah, look, give us an advice. I mean, we're in those days that we always, and with such great values that you brought on the table today and that you shared with us, I'm definitely hoping that you can give us a great advice. Give us an advice to everyone that be listening to you later on today.
Be kind, I guess. Try to see things from as many angles as you can, and always be open to learning more. Hear things from different people that you might not normally have heard things from. Just be open-minded. I think that's something that I'm trying to really work more on and get better with doing. So I think, yeah, be open-minded, kind, look out for people. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Oh, look, there's such again, lovely advice that we got from you. I actually want to come to the last part, the quiz show. I don't know if you're going to get any prizes. I mean, but many people who have attempted the riddles have actually not got them right. And I think you should not be really caring much, as you're not competitive. If you don't even get these right, I think you're not going to care less. So.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my microphone, and I'll play the quiz, and I'll give you every second to think of the answer, or whatever you may think of the answer. So now I'm just going to take your photo down, and I will share the video where...
Look carefully at the animals on the screen. We got a cat, cheetah, camel, pig, crocodile, and finally a chicken. One of the animals doesn't belong on the list. Which one is it? You have 15 seconds to figure it out, but feel free to pause the video if you need more time.
What was your answer?
My answer was the chicken. Is that right?
That's actually not right.
Dang it. I was going to say, because of the others, like it's the only one that has a beak, and how it eats is different to the others. So that's what my answer would have been, the chicken.
All right, let's just look at the answer, okay? I'll bring that back up and let's look at the answer. Okay. But it's actually not the right answer, but okay. let's just bring it back.
Okay.
Ready to let the cat out of the bag? Well, the cat's fine. It was actually the pig that was the odd one out. It's the only animal whose name doesn't start with the letter C. If you caught this detail, nice job. But don't.
Oh my gosh, it seems so simple when you give the answer. I think I was thinking too deeply about it. Like, oh, okay, well, this one has a beak and this one...
Well, look, you had a great explanation there, because it had a beak and the other ones didn't. So anyways, look, it was a pleasure to have spoken to you, and I wish you all the best. And you know what? I know so much about you now, even though you've been teaching my daughter for such a long time. Now, as I say, these interviews are so helpful that we get to know about each other and all these things, as we live in such a great and a busy environment that we work, although we spend most of our lives in the school, but even then we don't get that chance, that moment that we can sit down and actually relate to people on these levels. I really want to thank you again, and you have all the best. And I wish you a great year, the end of these terms to come. And I look forward to working with you in many, many more years in AIA.
Oh, thank you so much. It's actually so nice to be able to do this. Like, this is the first time in any school I've ever worked in where someone's actually sat me down, or anyone, and gone, I want to know about you. And it's really, it's thank you so much. Like, it's really meant a lot to me to be able to share and have that moment. So thank you for that.
No, you look after yourself, and great to do this. And hopefully we can continue these conversations when we meet each other.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. Okay. Bye. Bye.